Hello, America, and yes, it's Kay Michaels, and this is 100 Proof. You know, the show where we keep it 100 all the time, where everything goes with just a little class about yourself. Instead of getting beaten around the bush, let's cut right to the chase. It's going down next weekend. Yes, it's the second round of the NFL playoffs. And who would have thought we would have the teams that are in the playoffs there? First of all, let's talk about Seattle and New Orleans. Who would have thought Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints will come in and let the Seattle Seahawks knock them out of the playoffs? I mean, really? Seattle is one of the worst teams in their division. Well, I guess you could say the best team in their division, considering. But who would have thought Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints would come in and let Seattle knock them out? Well, to be honest, that's what Seattle's there for. They probably know that they're not going to win a championship unless it's on a mercy. But Hasselbeck did definitely come in and handle his business. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest games that everyone probably picked the same. I know I did. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. All I can say is I definitely have never seen Michael Vick like he was that day. It's almost as if he didn't know what to do. Why would Reed change the plays up? I mean, the same thing that's been winning all season for you is the same thing you should have went with in the playoffs. Don't change up the plays. Don't switch up the game plan. Well, look what happened. Michael Vick throwing interceptions. I've never seen him stumble like that. It's almost as if we was watching a cartoon. What happened to being down in the third quarter, coming back in the fourth, launching the ball down the field, running outside the pocket, right to Deshaun Jackson? That's what you guys were there for. It was a reminder of the St. Louis Rams with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk. You remember, the greatest show on earth? Yeah, I know. It was really hard to see. It definitely would have been a perfect ending to a horrible story if he would have made it to the Super Bowl. But big ups to Michael Vick anyway. And big ups to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he definitely came in and proved that he was a contender. No more selling him short in this game. We'll see if the Green Bay Packers can hold down that Atlanta offense. Now, we all know that Atlanta is definitely the better team on record. But here's my question. Yes, Atlanta has beaten Green Bay in the regular season. But we know that in the playoffs, there's a different team that you play. So we'll see if Aaron Rodgers and those cheeseheads can come through and make Atlanta and them dirty birds squawk. Moving on. Now, of course, no one saw this coming. The Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets, who would have thought? Everybody probably would have picked Peyton Manning over Mark Sanchez. But what happened? Yep, you guessed it. Mark Sanchez came in and proved that he was no rookie. And on Peyton Manning's side, you guys actually beat yourselves. I mean, it was a close game, but big ups to the New York Jets for pulling it out, and we'll see if the New York Jets can definitely hold down them New England Patriots. You know, Tom Brady now. Now, of course, I'm rolling with New York on this one because the worst thing New England could have did for me is got rid of Randy Moss. I mean, Randy Moss, this is one of the players that used to get paid $90 million, starting out in the league, running down the field. No one could catch him, not even Terrell Owens. And you're going to trade him? I mean, I don't know what the big issue was right there, but obviously it didn't hurt you too bad because you're still in the playoffs. But I'm definitely going with the Jets on this one, so we'll see what happens. Now, also, Chicago and Seattle. Now, this is where defense will overpower the offense. I know Seattle is a cool team, but Chicago is a better team. I really think Lovie Smith and their defense is going to pull this off, but we'll see how tough those Bears be tomorrow. Now, also, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes. Defense, defense, defense. This is going to be the most defensive game you've ever seen. Polamalu all up in Ray Lewis' face. And what Ray Lewis say? It's game time. That's right. It's definitely going to be game time next week. And we're going to see if those Pittsburgh Steelers can keep those Baltimore Ravens from splitting their curtains. Now, just to touch on NBA for just a moment. We all know that Carmelo Anthony is considering going to the New York Knicks. And he's also considering the New Jersey Nets. But here's my thing. I agree with some of the commentators. I think this is a decoy, as you can say, because he's definitely going to end up in a New York Knicks uniform. Do I think he should go to New York? Not so much. Maybe you probably have a better chance bringing Richard Hamilton to the Nuggets instead of you trading. I mean, it's a three-way trade, but I really don't understand the trade. But I guess if you can find the benefit in it, that's fine. But all I can say is just because you're going to the Heat going to the Knicks, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a playoff contender, because you're definitely not going to be championship material just yet. You got too many teams to go through. Boston, Miami, Chicago. I mean, really? But here's the thing. In Miami, LeBron has been hurt a little bit, so we'll see if that triple threat can stay together to overpower the rest of the teams in the East. And also, we know KG is still kind of hurt, but he was at practice on Thursday, so we'll see what happens also. Now, this is the part of my show where I like to hit about reality just a little bit. And here's the thing. I went to a meeting, and it was a prestigious meeting, a town hall meeting with ESPN, talking about the black athletes and the anniversary of Martin Luther King. And here's my question. Not only do we want our black athletes to succeed, my question is this. With all of the controversy surrounding black athletes, where do you think they lose sight of the overall dream and start to make these bonehead moves? I don't know. I just want to throw the question out there, and maybe you can give me your feedback on it. You know where you can find me, kmichaels.com, Facebook/KMichaels, or you can always email me at kmichaels100proof@gmail.com. Well, that's my time for this week, and I'll definitely be back next week, but we'll be at a different location. Yep, that's right. We'll be at Cheyenne's Grill in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, I will be in the ATL chilling with those Dirty Birds just to see how hyped the fans are going to be, and you know it's going to be off the chain. Well, until next time, if anybody asks you, did she just say that? You tell them she sure did. Think it's a game. See ya.